Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. Thanks for the few Patreons that I do have that help support this channel. Much appreciated. And as a Patreon, you have access to exclusive Patreon reviews. I try to do 1 or 2 a month, and there's over 40 now in the archives. So check that out. Remember, folks, not only is it just Springbank 10, but it's just whiskey. Today we're going to be reviewing a batch of Springbank 10 and talking a little bit about the batch variations within any given year. And yes, there can be several releases. So Springbank 10, core range, not the easiest thing to find, but they do pop up occasionally in my area around this time. When they do, they're around $100, $110-ish dollars. Sometimes some retailers charge a little bit more because they're just so hard to get. And but anyway, I've been able to find these even between, $90 to $100 occasionally. All right. This is a 750 milliliter bottle, 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, no coloring added. And this batch is, the laser code in the back is 16.3.22, which means this was bottled March 16th of 2022. And the only reason this other bottle unopened is over here, as you can see the color difference. My bottle that I'm reviewing is quite lighter than, this is an older bottling that I have here, which I have not opened up yet. The bottling code on this one is 17.08.21. So this would have been August 17th of 2021. And so in any given year, Springbank can release several batches of Springbank 10. And again, they're no two batches are the same, even though they kind of are. Before we get into the review, just a quick shout out to the brand new Malt Whisky Yearbook 2025 just came out, and comes out in October every year. And I send away directly from them, from the UK. And I think it's like 19 pounds. I think it cost maybe $22 with shipping. And I thoroughly enjoy it. Every year is updated information and plenty of new interesting articles. But what's cool about this year, well, every year they list whiskey tubers in here. They call it whiskey and social media, and my channel has not appeared on there yet. But what's cool is in this year's issue, they have a series of questions, the same series of questions, and they ask Roy from Aquaviti, so he's in here. They ask No Nonsense Whiskey, he's in here. They ask Jeff from G Whiskey, he's in here, and Chris from Liquor Hound, he's in there. And there's a couple of ladies in here as well that I'm not too familiar with what they do. But maybe someday Just Whiskey will be in here. Who knows? Wishful thinking, folks. But awesome book, and every year, in case you haven't seen it, they list every distillery, including the new ones, and then they do towards the end world whiskeys. Great information just to have handy. Highly recommend it. I buy it every year, even though I'm not listed in there. All right, folks, let's get into this review of Springbank 10. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a fantastic review. I absolutely love this bottle. I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, I reviewed another Springbank 10, and it was good, but it wasn't as great as this bottle here. That's why I told you the batch code. So go check out my other review. So I am a fanboy of Springbank, but I'm not going to say, oh my God, every Springbank 10 is the greatest, because the last one I had was good. But check out that review and refresh my memory. But this one's going to get a fantastic score at the end. And also, too, I want to give a shout out and a recommendation to check out a channel called the Crumby Beard. The Crumby Beard. What he's been doing, he has a specific bottle of Springbank 10 that he's been reviewing as a neck pour after a month or two, and then after 6 months, and then after 9 months. 9 months, I believe, is his newest one. And then he's at the end of 1 year, he's gonna give it another update. But he's noticed his bottle code for the bottle he's reviewing is 10.11.22. So his bottle is from 2022 as well. So his is November 10th of 2022. Again, mine is March 16th of 2022. But his latest review, he basically says, you know, the bottle went from getting better and better. Then he found at the 6-month mark, it started to go downhill. And now he's at the 9th or 10th month. And he's saying it's kind of redeeming itself again. So he's chronicling his journey with one specific bottle, which is pretty cool. So check that out. The reason why I mention him is because it's just an example of how varied these batches are within any given year. All right, on to the review. If I had to sum this up, right, like what Phil and Deepra used to do on the whiskey, oh my God, the whiskey mystery. He would come up with a silly, wacky name for the bottle. So this is candy cigarettes dipped in fruit cocktail. That's how I would describe this one. And when I first cracked this open, I've been going to town on this. This is so quaffable. If you can find this year, buy a backup bottle. I wish I had. I have lots of unopened Springbank 10s, but every now and then you find. That's why you should try to buy 2 of every bottle. You might be disappointed sometimes, but other times you'll be like, oh my God, I wish I had another bottle. With Springbank 10, if you have a backup, you're a little disappointed. I'm sure you could trade it to somebody that would really enjoy it no matter what. But when I first opened this, as I unwrapped it, took the cork off and smelled it. I'm not from Scotland. I've never been to Scotland. It's on my bucket list. But it smelled like home. It put a smile on my face. I was just like, I didn't know what to expect because the batches vary. And I was like, wow, this is coming home for me. All right, so on the nose, a little bit of floral, a little bit of honey, very light peat, almost negligible, but it accents there. It's sweet on the nose, maybe a slight hint of spearmint. And if you search for it, you'll get a slight funk. Okay, very, very slight. All right, palate. Sweet, syrupy, nice texture, fruity, fruit cocktail, fruit bomb, a light oak spice that just complements it. Very light oak spice. The only caveat, my only critique would be, as I find in a lot of Springbanks, especially the older ones, Springbank 18, Springbank 21, but this particular Springbank 10, maybe because I'm used to drinking a lot of cask strength whiskeys, so that could have something to do with it. But I find generally, like with the exception of Springbank 12, which is the cask strength, but this bottle of Springbank 10, some of the 18s, some of the 21s, I find to be a little bit too light, okay? And I think Springbank would benefit by upping the ABV at their preference to maybe even, 48, 49, 50%. Just a suggestion, Springbank. But with this ABV, with this particular bottle, it just makes it so quaffable. I mean, I'm having to control myself. This has been only open a couple of months, and I just keep hitting it and keep hitting it. The finish is a medium finish, not medium long, and that's where the lightness comes in. But I would definitely describe it as a fruit bomb. So I don't know what the cask makeup of this particular batch is, but I would guess that it leans more towards the ex-bourbon, and maybe the sherry that was in here, or more refill casks. I don't know. But still, I thoroughly enjoy this bottle, even though it's a little lighter than I would like it. It's going to get a solid 9 out of 10. If the ABV on this was a little bit higher, I might even score this as a perfect whiskey, a perfect Springbank, let's say. Okay, a perfect Springbank 10. But a 9 on the Dramfay scale is exceptional, remarkable. Okay, exceptional and remarkable. So this is a solid 9 out of 10. Again, and I would just sum up by saying this is candy cigarettes dipped in fruit cocktail. That's extremely quaffable, and if anything, as it's becoming more and more of a fruit bomb as the level goes down. So hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. Hats off to you all, and take care, folks.